Welcome back, everyone. Dealing with grief, it is not easy for anyone. The loss, especially of a partner, can be overwhelming and also lonely. A local organization, though, stepping in to help widows in need, and they aim to create a support system with resources for those specifically who have lost a spouse. Joining me today is the person who spearheaded this, the founder and CEO of Widows in Need Support Group, Stacy Tyler. Stacy, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Stacy, share with us your personal story as to why you felt the need to create a support group for widows.
Okay. Widows was actually birthed from a personal experience as I witnessed the loss of my father through the lens of my mother's eyes, and having been impacted from a mental as well as a financial standpoint, and trying to fill that gap with my own personal funds, my own personal abilities, as the system had failed us. But not just that, because as many of us know, oftentimes many families don't prepare for that, what is eventually to come, as when we think about death. So having not really properly prepared, not wanting to have the conversations, as my father was suffering from a terminal illness. And so after his passing, because my mom did have to dedicate the majority of her time caring for him, there was that absence of funds after his loss. So with having said that, and her not being able to really get assistance at the time and not having any real income coming in, it really was a difficult time. It was very challenging, and having to really monitor and handle her with cotton gloves at times, because she was in such a fragile state, not being able to properly grieve the loss, but having to deal with the bill collectors and everything else that came along with that.
And I bet so many people are listening to this and can relate to that.
Absolutely.
And so you took your own personal experience as you just described, and thank you for sharing that, because I know that it's not easy to talk about. And you created a support system for other women. Tell us what this group entails and how often you meet and the resources you provide.
Okay. Well, the program was actually designed to target or connect with the most vulnerable, independent senior widows in Richland County, ages 6 years older, those independent widows, those widows who were truly widows indeed. And originally the program was more focused on the financial aspect of it, providing assistance for lights, rent, mortgage, things of that nature. But as we began to connect with some of these senior widows, we found that there were other needs that we could also help to meet, as far as food packages and care packages and things of that nature. So throughout the year, we have an ongoing distribution that we do for the widows that we come in contact with. So it's not so much us assisting a widow and just forgetting about her. So we actually build a relationship with these widows, and we continue to check on them and help meet whatever needs that we can from a financial and essential aspect as it relates to some of the care items that they may need in that regard.
I think that's so important, because we know that when someone experiences a loss, everyone comes to the house, everyone wants to bring
Absolutely.
a dish as soon as it happens, and then after the funeral, the calls stop, the visits stop, and then you may just seem forgotten about. But you make sure with your organization that those women are still getting the care and the attention that they may need as they are going through this transitional time.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's amazing. How can people get in touch with you and become a part of that, especially if they're watching and they know that they just lost a loved one?
Okay, they can access our website at widowinneed.com, or feel free to reach us at 803-661-0768. Or if there's an inquiry that you would like to mail into us, you can send that to P.O. Box 1642, Columbia, South Carolina 29202.
What about volunteers?
We do have something in place for volunteers. However, we try to be very meticulous in the process of screening for the volunteers, as we want to be sure that we safeguard the care of the widows, because sometimes we will actually have to take things to them or have things done at a local community area. But yes, we do have volunteers. And
or donations, maybe.
Right, right. And we definitely need the donations to be able to continue the support that we provide, because the organization is primarily cash flow. Everything is based on the donations that we receive. All the support that we're able to provide is based on the donations that we receive, and a lot of my own personal funds. All of the monies that are received go directly to the support services for the widows and the operations. So yes, it is big to have those sponsors, those donors, those patrons, and we have actually partnered with Midlands Give every year, which has been most helpful in the giving days to assist with those support services. But yes, we do welcome volunteers. Oftentimes those that we partner with in the community, the churches or different local retailers or companies, we oftentimes have volunteers that are with them that partner with us to help with the distributions or to make the connections. We actually had the pleasure of meeting with Deacon Jackson with Bethlehem Baptist Church at their Family Life Center last week. And we did an actual food distribution there for the senior widows.
Well, Stacey, that sounds like something amazing you have created.
Thank you.
And you are continuing to help people, help the community, and hopefully this gets the word out even more, and those in need can contact you for those resources. So